Welcome to another episode of the Off Market Operator Podcast. You guys, as always, we keep these shows pretty short, than 10 to 15 minutes, very actionable items. Today's show, I'm going into, actionable steps you can take to get from 0 to 50K a month. I've just helped several people do this in their company that are in my Inner Circle program, and I know it works. And so this is the stuff that I teach them that I'm giving you guys for free on the show today. So without further ado, I don't want to waste a ton of your time. Let's get right into the show. People don't fail at real estate because they suck. They fail because there's too many ways to succeed. That's why I suggest you focus on the most important skill in all of real estate, which is finding deals. I'm Ruud-Johnson, and in this podcast, I share the exact steps I've used to source 400 deals by age 24. This will allow you to do three things: control your deal flow, make unlimited income, and build your empire as an off-market operator. What is up, y'all? Welcome back to another off-market operator show in the summer here. I wanted to hit on a subject today that is probably one of, if not the most commonly asked topic that I talk about or I get asked about, which is, how do I actually go from zero or a small business to meaningful amount of revenue? And for you, this could be a meaningful amount of off-market deals if you already have a business doing flipping, development, commercial real estate, whatever that may mean for you. But I really want to talk about today a path, myths, misconceptions around getting to $50,000 a month in a wholesale business, margins, what to expect, and a lot of truth, because it's so hard to discern on social media for what's truth and what's not, what's reality and what's not when it comes to the real estate game, wholesaling, flipping, all that kind of stuff. So the first thing is, you guys, that it takes money. And I hate to tell you that, you guys. No one in our program do we ever say it doesn't take money, whether we're helping people source commercial, residential, fix and flips developments, whatever that is. Guys, this is a game that takes money. Alternatively, if you don't want to spend a bunch of money on it, it takes a lot of time. And what I mean by that is there's only really two ways to get leverage when it comes to finding deals. It's time or money. Okay. So there's guys that have high paying W-2s, and there's guys that have other businesses that can come into this game and say, hey, I'm going to deploy, call it $10,000, $15,000 a month in a marketing spend. And of course you can get to $50,000, $100,000 a month much quicker that way. The other end of it, you guys, is time. So I'm going to go put out bandit signs. I'm going to go door knocking. I'm going to go put door hangers on. If you're in a hustler stage and you're earlier on in your journey, how we talk about in this show a lot, going from a hustler to an operator to an architect. So if you have deep pockets, you can kind of forego that hustler stage that a lot of people don't want to do. But being honest with you guys, there's no shortcut around this business taking money. That's the reality of it. But before we even get into that, I want to talk about the foundational level of this business. What do you have to have in a real estate company to source off-market deals? And the first thing I could talk about when we look at organizational strategy is, what seats are there in the business? How many different hats are there in your organization? Okay. So, because really what this business is, it's a pipeline business. There's a lot of moving pieces, and it adjusts with the market. And so when you're sitting down to map out your business and your plan, you really have to think about what hats you want to wear, which hats you're going to delegate right away. But one of the biggest mistakes people make is they think they can't delegate right away. And I've talked about a lot on the show, simple exercises you can take to know of how you can delegate. And the quickest one, back of the napkin math to know what you can pay and outsource per hour, is take your take home income from your company and divide that by 8,000. So if you're making a $50,000 a year from your company take home, that equates to about about $650 an hour that you can hire and delegate. And you guys can get a very talented offshore person in the Philippines or other places in the world that'll work 10, 12 hours a day for you and fit into that $650 an hour range. That'll crush it for you. And so a lot of people make the mistakes early on is where they stay in the hustler stage for too long, when they don't realize they can start handing off stuff way earlier on in their journey. And so we want to get that right, you guys. We want to look at a couple different parts of this business, um, which include acquisitions, dispositions, marketing, and sales. Okay, so acquisitions, dispositions, we're going to the sales umbrella. So it's sales, marketing, and operations, like any business, but especially this business. And most of us get that wrong, and we want to spend a lot of time on the software tools and these lists and blah 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 blah. That doesn't make you money. What makes you money is talking to sellers. And so the first thing I try to get through people's head when they go, "Hey, Cole, how can I get to $50,000 a month?" is we need to be talking to as many people as we can. And normally that starts with spending anywhere from $2,000 to $4,000 on a marketing budget. And so when I tell someone that's starting out and they have some money to spend, they have $5,000 a month, let's say, to spend on marketing, I'm not going to tell them to go do pay-per-click, go do pay-per-lead, go do all these marketing strategies that aren't very scalable and you don't have a ton of cash. If you want to do a successful pay-per-click campaign in most markets in this country, I recommend a $7,000 to $10,000 a month budget. If you want to do mail, I recommend a $5,000+ budget. So for the people that come to me and have $2,000 to $5,000 to spend, it's a very simple plan every single time that I give them. which is get data in your market, skip trace data. And I'm not going to go into that on this show. You guys can go YouTube, how to get data. You guys can go to Easy Button Leads, Easy Button Skip Trace, all the different services and tools I talk about on this show. But that everything starts, you guys, on a marketing budget with finding how to get in touch with people fastest. And for that, I like cold calling and texting to get in touch with people as fast as humanly possible. Okay. Once you're doing that, then you need a solid month of just analyzing your KPIs. You can't look out to what other people are doing. You have to analyze your KPIs. And even if you guys suck, what I tell every single person that I talk to that's trying to get started in the real estate off market acquisition game, commercial real estate, industrial real estate, residential real estate, is if I told you you were 100 conversations away, 100 phone calls away, talking to someone on the phone, not calls, but answers, 100 combos away from a 50, 75, $100,000, $25,000 check, how quickly would you make those calls? And most people statistically, okay, statistically are close, is that close or closer to that check. And when you really start putting it pen to paper like that, it's easier for me to give strategy. And you want to get your own KPIs after a month. So you know what you can spend and what you can allocate when it comes to putting out dollars to get leads in the door and kind of reverse engineering it that way. A lot of people, you guys, a lot of people don't understand where their time goes. And so the next thing I usually talk to people about is how to invest your time versus spend your time. So many of us just spend our time aimlessly. And we really do what I call the time audit, which is 2 weeks straight of breaking up your day into 15 to 30-minute increments and looking what you actually spend your time on. You'll be shocked that you'll be able to get 2, 3, 4 hours a day back. If you guys blocked off 2 hours on a Saturday morning, 2 hours on a Sunday morning, and you took off your social media time and your Netflix time, and you dedicated that block to 2 to 3 to 4 hours a day of talking to sellers, which is what moves the needle in this business and makes you money, you're going to be shocked when you're going to find 20, 30 plus, 40 plus hours a month that you can have to talking to sellers. And even if you only talk to 5 people in those hour blocks for each hour, you're going to get to the KPI. And so what I really tell people is it's not rocket science. Every single day we're marketed the new software, the new tool, the new system, the new incredible magical AI tool. You guys, when in reality, what it comes down to is understanding where your time's going, investing your time instead of spending your time, and getting very dialed in on the KPIs that move the needle, which is how many sellers you can talk to, how many you need to talk to per deal, and then getting a good feel what your cost per lead, cost per deal is. And within 6 months, it's reasonable to get to $50,000 plus per month if you have those numbers. Okay. Because if you go through 3 months and you look at your KPIs, you say, hey, if I get 3 leads per day, I get one deal per month. If I get one deal per month, that's $20,000 per month. I have to spend whatever $100 cost per lead. So I have to spend $3,000 to $5,000 for that deal, including data, including my time. I have a 4x return on my marketing, which is good. In this business, if you're between a 3x and a 5x, you're great. Below a 3x, it's a little iffy, but between a 3x and a 5x, you are good. You are good to rock and roll. And so what I would tell you guys is if you're already within that range and you look at your KPIs and you really start tracking these, you can track these on pen and paper. You don't need a fancy CRM. You don't need a fancy tool. You can track these in Google Sheets and just get a feeling for how many calls a day does it take to talk to X amount of people, how many leads does it take for a quality conversation, and you start reverse engineering the numbers in your business. You will see after 3 months a pattern and a predictable pattern, and then it just comes down to investing more time or buying back your time with other people. And that is where virtual assistants come in, partners come in, or employees come in. The first thing is on the partner side, you guys. Partnership is hard, especially in this business, because it's not an incredibly high profit business once you get to scale, 35%. So it gets hard to shell out profit. Okay, so what I want you guys to do is when you think about partnerships, should I bring a partner on? Are they going to 2x or 3x your business? Okay, if you're doing 300 grand a year and you think they're going to get you to 900 grand a year, $1 million a year, it's worth it. Okay, because you're getting a 3x, which means you're going to be making 50% more. If they're going to just double your business, they're just going to take you from 300 to 600. It's not worth it to you. The reason being is because you're going to make the same amount of money for more scale, because scale for most companies means complexity, and complexity kills a lot of early stage startups, which you guys are. There's not a lot of companies in this business that make it past 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. And that's the reason why when it comes to off market acquisitions, because it's a pipeline business, because the cost per acquisition gets higher and higher as more people come into the game. And that's the reality of it. So a partnership, I don't recommend it unless you think it can 3x your business. And a lot of people just partner with people because they're lonely. You don't want to ever go get a partner in any business because you're lonely or you feel like you need just someone to keep you company. That's an emotional need that you have for yourself. You don't want to project that and go find a partner just for that reason. Okay. When it comes to VAs, most of you guys, if you're making 50 grand or more plus a year, you can hire a VA or two or three, and you can start handing out admin tasks. Trust me, someone doing something every single day at 70% of you doing it intermittently is much more valuable. And let me say that again. If someone is doing something consistently every single day for you, even if it's not up to the quality that you're doing it, but you're doing it only intermittently, it's more valuable to you and your company to buy that time back. So after you start getting your own KPIs, you have dollars coming in. The way to scale is to buy your time back. Look at your calendar and look at how you can buy your time back. Is that virtual assistants? Is that systems and processes? Is that consultants? Is that masterminds? Is that employees? And for most people, you can get to $50,000 a year, sorry, $50,000 a month or more just on virtual assistants, a few masterminds, and a few consultants, right? Go to a mastermind, learn what the best CRM is. I can tell you here, it's going to be Podio, Follow Up Boss, Investor Views. It's not complicated. Get your basic branding done, your websites, your landing pages, all that kind of stuff. Get your marketing going out, your cold calling, your easy button leads, your skip tracing, the easy button skip tracing. Just get the baseline level stuff there, and then start to buy your time back off your calendar, and you'll start spinning up a business quicker than you can imagine. A lot of it just comes down to confidence, being confident in yourself, in your skill set, and in your ability, and understanding that business is solving problems and expecting problems to come. And if you can do those three things, you can start investing your time instead of spending it. You can track your KPIs. You can go buy your time back, and then you can understand and build the stomach to run a business and understand it's just solving problems every day. You can build a $50,000 a month wholesaling business, whether you're let me say acquisition business, whether you're acquiring single family, multifamily, commercial, industrial. You can do that with 50,000 with that strategy I just said. And I know because I help people do this every single month in every single asset class. And it's not as complicated as it is in your head. You're just getting fed so much information every single day. You don't know the next step to put forward. And just trust me, if you do nothing else, listen to this podcast, set the phone down, and just take one step forward this week after listening to the show that will move the needle for you and your company. Thanks for hanging out for the 10, 12 minutes, you guys. Again, I like to keep these short. I like to keep them actionable, tactical, and stuff that you can really dive in and implement in your business right away as you go throughout your week. So I challenge you, take this show, you guys, put down the phone, stop chasing the magic bullet, and get to work talking to sellers and getting these deals done. I mean, you truly are. When you put it on paper, you're just a couple conversations away from a check at all times. Because this game is truly just talking to people. The only leg up we really have, you guys, is some small branding stuff and then understanding of just the leverage. How do you get more leverage from your business with hiring VAs, partners, employees, and making sure you do it the right way? So, as always, you guys, I really appreciate DMs, shares, reviews, likes on this podcast. I'm going to consistently get these out 2 times a week to you guys to help you continue to acquire single family, multifamily, industrial, all the different kinds of real estate that you're in. And hey, quick plug with our programs, you guys, with our off-market operators, single family and commercial programs, we just rolled a bunch of stuff out. And so if you are interested in that, you guys can head over, DM me on Instagram, and I can get you guys in with my team to talk more about that. But as always, you guys, no matter where you listen to podcasts, Apple, Spotify, please like, save these episodes, subscribe, make sure you get alerted when new ones come out. And as always, you are only one deal away.